Weather Authority forecast from meteorologist Nakandra Norwood.
Well, we're looking at really pleasant conditions around here as we kick the week off. You've got the clouds streaming in out of the southwest, though, and that just says, hey, this is more moist air for us coming in off the Gulf, and we're going to stick with it through the next 24 hours or so before we get our next front in here. So right now, you are looking at just those high, thin clouds, not a big problem as you go through your Monday. Larger weather system up to our north. You see that spin moving through the Great Lakes region, and you kind of follow along. And, well, there's another spin that's moving across Baja. So all of this action working together here over the next couple of days is how our weather's going to come together for us. Right now, when you take a look at what's going on with water vapor, we've still got high pressure over most of the southeast, that sinking air. It's more difficult to get any showers going. We are going to see a little troughing come down. This low is going to help push things along, and that's going to keep most of your rainfall circulating around the high. So we stay mostly dry through the week. We really don't look like we see much activity around here heading into Easter Sunday. Now, could we see a sprinkle or two? Maybe, but overall, the big storms, those are going to stay to our north through the Midwest. This is what's expected on Friday and Thursday when the Storm Prediction Center starts looking this far ahead into the future. You're likely going to see another big outbreak for severe weather as you head through that region, but that's towards the end of the week. Something to keep in mind, though, if you have travel planned into that time frame as well. Now, this trough is going to come south, and this is what's going to help push our front through tomorrow. So we get back in a northwest flow. That gets us some dry air back in play, and so even though we stay warm, that'll feel pretty comfortable through the day tomorrow, and then as we head into the end of the week, we'll keep that high pressure around right into Saturday. You're running that Crescent City Classic, you're going to be doing all right. Yeah, it's a little bit warm, but early in the morning it should still feel good. And then we're going to be watching that next low, how that all comes together, and does it get close enough that we maybe watch for a shower or two towards the end of the weekend. What we do know is that we're going to stay on the warmer side of normal here over the next week and into the start of the following week here. So a lot of kids had spring break this week. There's some that are going to be going into spring break next week. Overall, I think you're still going to have a great time with the opportunities to be outside the Climate Prediction Center, keeping us on that warm side as well through the extended. So looking at temperatures, our long-term averages are in the upper 70s. Today, we should beat that by a little bit, going up to 82, 80 tomorrow as that front's coming through. We maybe have a little bit more cloud cover, but then by late, the dry air comes in, gets us back to feel good for a couple of days. High temperatures on Wednesday, not quite as warm, and maybe your overnight lows are going to be a bit chillier before we ramp back up into the mid-80s for the weekend. As far as rain chances go, we're staying mostly dry. Now, I've been watching last week. Okay, could we manage to squeeze out a shower? I mean, less than 10% coverage. That's why we still say 0 on here, because it's really going to be hard to see any kind of rainfall there. Easter Sunday, you actually may have a little bit better chance of that, but again, 20%, not a whole lot. Most people are going to stay dry through this stretch. So for right now, it's about the humidity, high pressure rolling in and continuing to keep that moisture around on the backside with our surface high. Tomorrow, we get a few more clouds in place, a little bit breezy here, and then here comes our front. So that front pushes south. That's going to dry us out again and give us a chance to have the feel-good air back in place for a cooler start on Wednesday morning. Through the day on Wednesday feels pretty good, and then maybe early on Thursday we're still on the cooler side before we start seeing the return flow around the backside of high pressure once again. We've been giving you the updates on all the water coming down the river. You see all the flood warnings still in place. Right now we're at 11.9 for the current stage there, and we'll continue to watch that water rising. It's going to have implications for navigation for sure. We'll see how it goes if there's any need to start looking at spillway openings. Right now, our current conditions are showing us beautiful blue skies, few puffy white clouds, temperatures in the middle 70s, and we're going to continue to keep that nicer feel out there for most of the week ahead. So that'll be some good news for you as you're trying to get out and about and enjoy this spring break week, or finish up your last week before you head into the Easter holiday. You can always keep up with our forecast. If you're not in front of the TV, you can get it with the stream. All of those opportunities to grab it.
Some nice calm weather for us here in our region for another week. That's so nice.
We need it. I mean, you
deserve
need
it.
those breaks because, you know, things change quickly.
And it's so funny, Nicandra, not funny, my dad's texting me right now. He was on a Zoom call with some people in LA when this quake hit, and he said they started shaking on camera.
Oh.
So he said it was a pretty intense earthquake.
Okay.
We don't have the exact magnitude at this time. We're hearing between 5 and, which is huge, a
Yeah.
5 to 6 magnitude quake.
And both of those are huge. And, you know, you always have to remind people when you hear that 0.1, that's like 10 times.
Really? Really?
Yeah. So if you know, going from a 5 to a 6 is like
It's a huge
100
jump.
times.
Wow.
It's-
Whoa.
it's
So
a-
it,
yeah.
This was a big quake no matter what.
So
but wow.
we'll get the reports from USGS and kind of see what's going on out there.
Wow. All right, Nicandra, thank you so